Hi, it's Janette. We're in London today. This is Trafalgar Square. I think of it as quite the center of London. Nelson's column is the very, very tall column commemorating battles. Lots goes on in Trafalgar Square. And so I wanted to do a little 20-minute walk here. We are at the National Museum, National Gallery, fabulous museums. And if people have been debating about coming to London, I would like you to consider to come because it's a great city, very cosmopolitan. So people from all over the world think of London still as an amazing place to come. So in Trafalgar Square, I wanted to show you some of the things that I find kind of specifically interesting, besides Nelson's column. Over here on the right, there are usually 4 plinths with art in Trafalgar Square. This one changes for contemporary art right now. There's been a time when there was a big blue chicken on that one. So that's the contemporary piece of art. Then there's a statue that's always there. Nelson's column is always there. The lions are out in the front. The Trooping the Colors this weekend, so I assume that's what this big stage is set for. We'll get over there in a bit. Ooh, big crowd, fancy crowd up in the National Gallery atrium there between the columns. So there must be an event going on. These little circles are where buskers are allowed to perform. I don't know if they change color when you get to go there. But specifically for, I guess what I'd call an American audience, I wanted to tell you about something kind of fun. The galleries are free, too, by the way. It's one of the great things about London museums. Many of them are free. And we're going to walk over there across the street. But I wanted to show you, guess who is here in Trafalgar Square? Any idea who that is? If he looks kind of familiar, yes, it is George Washington. After the Revolutionary War, he said he would never set foot in England, ever. And he still doesn't. It's on a plinth. He's not setting foot on England. He's on a little stand. So I wanted to share one of my favorite spots. It's a hidden spot a bit. It's called St. Martin's in the Field Church. They have wonderful evensong concerts. They have candlelight concerts. And one of my great things to attend at St. Martin's in the Field is candlelight concerts, but also to go down any day when you're in this area for the museums, etc., to go down to the cafe and the crypt. They have modernized it and built a wonderful cafe there. It's really well priced, super fresh, delicious food, and it's not expensive. So it's a great find. It's right here in the center of the city. Oh, by the way, there is a nice cafe up at the top. There's a rooftop sort of cafe at the National Gallery, too. I'm scared to cross if it says not to. Oh, look, we get to cross. There's a double green man. Double green man. So here is the front of St. Martin's in the Field. They will have a schedule available online and otherwise about when their concerts are at night. It's really welcoming and available for everyone. The concerts do cost the price of a ticket, but it's also a sanctuary place. And to get to the cafe and the crypt, come over here. I think there's a door from inside as well, inside the chapel. It's really contemporary. But this stairway and elevator go down to the cafe. It's not open this late because it's already almost 8 o'clock in the evening, so I think they close about 3:30 for lunch. But it's one of the great bargains in this city. Oh. Is it possible to take a look inside? Oh, there is. All right. Okay. Not today. They're having a concert right now. Can't interrupt a concert. And there's Bruce down there in the blue shirt. Very handy, bright. So I told him I wanted to walk over to the Charing Cross. And yes, Charing Cross is a station, a tube station. With the bridge, we just walked over from there, but from across the River Thames. But the Charing Cross is this item over here. Okay, we're going to be on Duncannon Street. Just alongside, oh, there's also dining out back in the garden of the church, St. Martin's in the Field. So we couldn't go in because there's a concert going on right now, which you could hear. But I recommend it as a hidden gem. Maybe not for your first time in London, but if you've been over here several times and are looking for new things, it's a great one. Really great. So the cafe in the back garden, you can see. Also available for lunch and beyond. Really nice garden cafe. Duncannon Street. Here we go. I'll take you a quick look inside. Lots of events going on. The weekend is coming up, and this weekend is the Trooping of the Colour. Nice little cafe, shaded beautifully. So we're not going to stop here, though, but this is the back of St. Martin's in the Fields, which will tell you that when London was in the Middle Ages, this was the Fields. That's why it's St. Martin's in the Fields. In fact, the Charing Cross, come on over, Bruce. I guess we should cross here first. So I like the Claremont Hotel. It's very nice. But also, they have to stop. Good. That cross is not the original cross, but the Charing Cross happens to be the spot in the city that all other distances are measured from. So I wouldn't call it the center of the city, but sort of like how in Paris everything's measured from a little bronze plaque right in front of Notre Dame. That's what this is like. So ornate, this was a village outside of Londinium. And so we can walk over to the cross. I was initially horrified with the hotel because it is right on top of the tube station, Charing Cross. You can see the name behind the bicycle rack here. So at Charing Cross Station, it's an underground station, but the Claremont is a very nice luxury hotel. This is the Charing Cross. A lot of people will see it here, but there's been a cross here since the Middle Ages. Whoop. Let's turn it back around the other way. Trying to figure this out. And today, people drive by it all the time and have no idea. Let's head over to Craven Street. And I'll show you something else that relates to Americans over there. This street is called the Strand. Very busy. Lots of theaters down behind me. Lots of hotels available. And it's very quiet. But there's a reason to bring you here. And so a lot of times, as a new history geek, I like to find interesting to me things. Okay. There's the name Craven Street. We're in, I think, this part's the city. So along on Craven Street are two fun places. Craven House Street, huh? Some nice flats that had once been owned by different people. Interestingly, the River Thames used to come all the way up to this street, the end of the block there. So some of these are now owned by businesses. Some are privately owned. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize, the only house in the world still in existence that Benjamin Franklin ever lived in is here. This is Benjamin Franklin's house where he lived for 16 years that he was here in England trying as the first ambassador and trying to first prevent the Revolutionary War. So when he came the first time, he was dressed as a nobleman because they were talking to the king and trying to prevent from having a Revolutionary War. Didn't last, so then he came back and started wearing when the United States had begun and declared its independence. He came back wearing his coonskin hat. So then he was an ambassador from the United States, and it was called the United States. When he was dressed as a nobleman, he was an ambassador to the colonies, but still an English citizen. Little differences that are fun. Ship and shovel, nice pub, everybody's here after work, very nice. I also like over here, go through this little alley. Not too far away. These are all good places to know on your third or fourth or fifth time to London. This is called the Sherlock Holmes. I have been here and noticed at one point they were selling Goose Island beer, among others. There's a lot of beers for sale here, but Goose Island was one of them. Lots of hotels along here too. But really, I just wanted to come show you the Sherlock Holmes Hotel. Gosh, it's not many minutes. I'm only at 7 minutes and 31 seconds. So I wanted to make sure I got Trafalgar in. What I'll try and do then, if I can find Bruce again, is walk back to the front of Trafalgar Square and go to the Lions. We're walking back to Craven Street. Don't know where Bruce went. He's probably had enough of this stuff. I'm sure I drive the whole group crazy. Oh, so the story is Benjamin Franklin every day when he lived here used to take a swim in the River Thames. Just there at those trees. Just there at those trees is where the river is. But it used to be right up to the end of Craven Street. They're going into Benjamin Franklin's house. It's a nice museum. Check it out sometime. Make a visit. It's a pretty quick tour, but it's a really nice one. Never really crowded. A lot of people don't know its existence. There's no place in the USA or France that Benjamin Franklin had lived in, except this one. 16 years he lived renting with a woman whose name I forget and her daughter. And he loved England. He wanted to not have a war. I think it's Walter Isaacson who wrote Benjamin Franklin. Great biography, but I'm sure there are lots of them. So, and then if we go back out to the Strand, thank you. We'll go up and go left, back over to the front of Trafalgar. It's been great walking all week. Such a flat street. Granted, a lot of the streets aren't straight. They're sort of higgledy-piggledy because there's the new and the old kind of all on top of each other. Got a couple of phone boxes. They're not really used anymore, but they're fun to see. So we'll go up to the Lions and then we'll call it quits. Nelson's column. You can see it easily over most of the rooftops. Excuse me. Ooh, big stuff happening here. Also, the arch that leads to the mall is under construction right now. You can see it. And it is, let's cross here. if you don't mind. Uh, it's going to be a luxury hotel taking over that whole huge space, and the park is on the back. I keep forgetting the name of the hotel. So we're looking at Trafalgar. We're going to walk when we're allowed to, or before, apparently. I'm following Bruce. Okay, let's go over by the lions, and then we'd be done. It's interesting. A lot of places have started taking the little green man and making him into signs that suggest who. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. Major General Sir Henry Havelock. Don't know him. But so it's not always fenced off like this. Definitely a stage. So many weekends have things going on. Oh, look at this. BMW Classics. Free concert with London Symphony Orchestra and Sir Antonio Papano. This weekend. Any chance that you're here this weekend? It'd be great timing for a BMW Classic concert in Trafalgar. Center. Even though Charing Cross is the spot that has 5 different corners going off from it. Here's the lions. There's 2 of them, bigger than the ones at the Art Institute. And that's the construction of the arches that lead onto the mall. Here's the second lion. And we're going to cross and head back to our Airbnb. So thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the walks around England. This is the end of it. We leave tomorrow morning. So I've really had fun. Cheers. Okay.